This area of our yard was just plain grass before. There's a hill that goes behind our house. And right here is the gazebo that we've shown you guys in recent videos. So we bought this little pond, just a little plastic like liner pond. They sell these at Lowe's for like 100 and something bucks. We got ours from a local pond supply place so we could support local. We're gonna have a little pump on the inside too that keeps the water moving so mosquitoes don't lay their eggs. We have mosquitoes dunks in here right now, but we're gonna redo this whole area today. We just went to the store and bought a whole bunch of plants. We have this dogwood tree we need to plant here, and we're just gonna make this like a really sweet little pond. And then eventually we're gonna put in some like bamboo stakes. And is that good? This is my sister's dog, by the way. Every time we show a dog, people are like, is that your dog? No, it's my sister's dog.
This is Noel. She's Nona, and she's Zoe.
We've had a couple bears on the property the last week, so it feels really nice to be outside having the protection of these guys. Oh, we're gonna take some pieces of bamboo eventually and kind of bunch them together and make like a little frog hotel. So we'll bring you guys along for all of that. But today what we're gonna do is clean all of this up and make a pond. We're gonna landscape it as best we can. We're gonna add rocks. We're gonna clean this out. We're going to add a pump and some movement in here. We're gonna add compost all around here, and it's gonna be a big job, but it's gonna look really, really cool. So we've always wanted to have some water on the property. It lets in a lot of different wildlife, and then it's nice too because it gives the animals something to drink from. There we go. I don't need to give you reasons why we're getting a pond. We just wanted one, all right? Stop yelling at me about it. He's falling asleep on Avery in there right now. She's reading him what the ladybird heard. So we first started out by cleaning out the pond because we had set it up. If you are going to do this, make sure you level the ground really well underneath it, because as you'll see at the end, ours is definitely not as level as we would want it to be. It's slightly lower on the left side, so the pond sits a little bit uneven. Either way, it's totally fine. It doesn't really matter. And we kind of fix the look of it at the end. What's the matter? You okay, baby boy? You need some water? He's not water boy like that. You need a little bucket of water? Need some? Oh, that's what he wants, is water. So we have a property on a mountain, so we have a ton of different rocks on our property as is. So you will have to buy stones, I assume, if you aren't able to find them on your property. Basically, every stone that you see us using was in the ground underneath where the pond was. We have a really, really rocky property. So then we decided to put a layer of compost, probably 2 lawnmowers worth full in this area. So we have like a little tractor attachment for the back of our lawnmower, and we filled that up with our compost. You won't have to do this if you have really good soil, but again, we have really rocky, poor soil up here, so we amended it with compost. And then we had gone to the store and just bought a bunch of plants that we thought were cool. We've got daylilies, lupines, trays of sedum, delphiniums, and roses. We need to do some trimming on this sucker. For the pond, we also at Home Depot bought the river stones that go on the inside and the river pebbles, and those are what we put on the inside of the pond to hide the black liner. Just putting rocks around the pond right now to beautify it. Don't really know where things should go, but you just kind of got to start stacking and then kind of moving them around. Not that you need to know this, but I feel so ill. But chronic pain is when you have childcare. You must continue. You don't have a choice. And then we had this little electric tiller. We don't till anything on our property, but this area we wanted to be a little bit softer on the top so that the compost won't just be sitting on the top of hard rocky ground. We needed to kind of move this around a little bit. So really one of the hardest parts is finding the stones in the locations and designing everything. So really it all comes down to digging the pond in, and there's sand underneath it as well to kind of level out the areas and make the pond as level as you can get it. And then placing stones all around in a pattern that looks sort of realistic-ish, just to cover that black liner on the outside. And then later on you'll see me, we had these extra 3 pieces of flagstone from a flagstone patio we have, which I use as a walking path to get up to the pond so that we always have a place to walk and access the pond in case we need to get to it and not walking over a bunch of our plants. This is kind of the hardest part, styling it, figuring out how to make it look not fake, even though it is. We have these stones we found on our property have leaf fossils. Look at this. Isn't that so cool? Each kind of layer has leaf imprints in it, and this, I think this might be like a couple 100 million years old or something, from what I was reading. Maybe that's wrong, but isn't that freaking cool? You're like, who the hell are you talking to, idiot? This is this really cool old stumpy log that Zach found on the property, and it's so twisty and cool. And he just had the idea that we can half submerge this in the back if I clean it off, and we can make this into the Frog Hotel. Where'd you find this?
Back property.
Cool. It's so cool. It's so twisty. Oh, there's spiders all over it. You see them?
Guys.
They were like, we're living here. Let's blow them off. Watch your hand. Move your hand.
Oh, big.
Oh!
He's too big.
He's too big to blow?
Yeah.
Did I get him?
Yeah, he's there. Okay, I'm gonna just put it in.
Okay. Yeah, like that.
Cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
Well, see if it floats. If it floats on.
Oh shoot, yeah, we'll have to put rocks in it. Back behind here. Kind of just like that, I feel like. Yeah, like that, and then pushed a little bit behind that wooden thing so that it's kind of like peeking out almost. Yeah, good thing it's really light, yeah. Really glad to. I think that actually looks pretty cool. Yeah. And then if we put some other rocks around it, that actually looks really nice. Come look at that. You see what I'm saying? Sorry, something just blew up my nose. All right, it's time to fill it up. We put the pump inside of it. We got this from a local pawn shop as well. And the pump it's a pump. It pumps water out. I don't know. So nice. I haven't tested out the pump yet to see if it works, but when it's over the suction area, I will test it out and see, and then adjust the height. And you can also adjust on this one, you can adjust the type of flow from the top. Like you can make it like kind of water lily shaped or daisy shaped. It comes with a bunch of different attachments and tips. The other one's just bigger, they get smaller. Do you like it bigger or smaller? This is the first one again. That one's pretty cute. Okay. All right, we're gonna start planting now. We're gonna do the dogwood first. We have this dogwood tree over here, right there. And we're gonna put it in right next to the pond. And I think that that'll kind of give us some structure at first, and then we can sort of just start building up from there.
So we are going to have everything that we used linked down in the description of this video so that you guys can know exactly the type of pump we use, exactly the liner that we got, and the type of plants that we have around our pond as well. And everything was really inexpensive. I believe this entire pond setup cost us probably less than $400, but we also did have a lot of those big stones, and had you had to buy those, it would cost a little bit more, obviously. But you can forage for rocks too, I think, or maybe look on Craigslist and see if anybody has any rocks that they're giving away. We just went and raided a whole bunch of the other plants that we have down by like the greenhouse and places, and we just dug some stuff up. So I will show you what we got. Right now he's planting a curly willow that we've just had in a pot for years. I don't even know where we got it. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Bought it and then potted and left it?
Yeah, I bought a cutting.
Oh, okay. Well, it's so cute, and so we're gonna add it right to the back there because, well, why not? And then the dogwood and the willow will just kind of grow together. And then I'll show you what else we got. I cannot remember what this is called, but it's kind of like a ground cover spreading guy. You don't even have to tell me that this is invasive. I already know. I'm not worried about it. It'll be fine. Invasive meaning it'll just take over if you let it, but so will these, which are strawberries. Our strawberries have absolutely invaded our garden, and we're happy about it. There's no such thing as too many strawberries. Is this called elephant ear plant? This is an elephant ear plant that Zach just took a chunk of, and we're gonna plant that back by the pond as well. And then we've got some oregano from our garden. And then around the other plants that we have, we actually got these on clearance. These are a Dianthus. And then we've got daylily over there, lupine and sedum. And we're just gonna put all of these in and just fill this in. Darling. Man, lupins smell good. Yes. I hadn't either until I just put my face near it. We filmed this, maybe like a week since we put this all in. Some things are dying already, some things are looking okay. So I'm gonna be planting some more today. It's just the nature of putting things in, they get a little transplant shock sometimes. So I am going to add creeping jenny, creeping thyme, delphinium, and this guy behind me is evening primrose. I'm gonna add all of these things and they're gonna start spreading out and looking really cool. The delphiniums we bought from the nursery last week, and I just bought these others from Home Depot just the other day. I want creeping jenny to go along the back to cover up the black liner, and creeping jenny can grow like in water, so it'll be fine. And I'm gonna have that growing all along that back wall so that it'll cover up the black liner, because this is like one of those plastic liner ponds. It's hard to cover that, so. So these spread a ton, like a friggin' ton, really fast, called creeping thyme. Oh, little spider baby. And so I'm planting probably more than I need to, but I like to start it off good and strong with a really good amount, because if you plant just a tiny little bit, it'll still work. It'll still grow, it'll still spread, but it spreads much slower if it starts from a tiny little amount. But if you plant it kind of in big chunks, it works better. It doesn't like foot traffic very much. It can handle a little tiny bit, but I've discovered that even when they say light foot traffic, it's not really true. It's more like a baby's foot traffic. So I'm gonna take this last container of creeping thyme and I'm gonna push it through the rocks so it grows all around. Sort of like we have growing over here. We have these rock borders we made. As you can see, it's growing all throughout and it's starting to creep down the sides of the rocks and it just looks so cool.